How to Quit Working community. I am so thrilled to be with you here today. I hope that you're all having a wonderful day today. And today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about lifestyle. Now, I realize that lifestyle is a huge topic and can mean any variety of different things. But today I want to talk to you a little bit about how your lifestyle is affecting your ability to conquer your entrepreneurial dreams. So what I mean by lifestyle when I talk about that is, what is it that is feeding into you based on where you live, based on your house, based on your spending, that is really kind of keeping you captive. So I believe that when you're talking about starting your very first company, that you really need to look at the ability to contract in order to expand. So part of the reason why all of us want to be our own bosses, and part of the reason why all of us want to start companies, is because we have these dreams, we have these aspirations of really having kind of the lifestyle that we want, of being able to work the hours that we want to work, of being able to make the money that we believe that we deserve. But really, in order to get to those lofty dreams and those lofty aspirations, we really have to look at where we're currently at. So I believe with lifestyle that you need to address a couple of things. First, I think you really, really need to look at where you're living. Living expenses are huge. And when I say take a look at where you're living, I think that you need to first start with, what state do you live in? There are obviously several states out there in the US, and you could choose to live in any of them. I happen to live in California, which is one of probably the most expensive states in the union to live in, but I also love it, and I'm surrounded by my friends and my family here. But there are lots and lots of places throughout the country that I have, and my husband and I have looked at moving to, simply because the cost of living is so much cheaper. So first, evaluate the state you're living in. Next, I think it's really important to evaluate the community that you're living in within that state. So obviously, California is a huge state. There's lots of different communities to live in California. I happen to live on the beach in California, which is awesome, and I love it, but it's also extremely expensive. There are lots of other places in the state that we could live that would be a lot cheaper. So within that state, what community are you living in? Number 3 on the list is the actual community within that town that you're living in. Are you living in a community that is really, really an expensive community, or are you living in a community that maybe is not where you'd like to live, down the road, but currently is going to save you the money that you need? And then take a look at your house. Are you living in a palatial mansion? I think that in America, we have these thoughts that we need to live in a 3,000 square foot house. Is that what you really need right now? And the reason I'm talking about these things is because your house expense can be anywhere from 25 to 40% of your monthly budget. And if you are at the upper end of that budgeting scale, and really you're spending a ton on your house, if you're thinking about trying to make the transition, if you're thinking about trying to quit your job and start a business, maybe in order to expand, in order to hit those dreams that you want, it's a good idea to contract right now. Maybe it's a good idea to downsize a little bit, get into a house or a community that maybe is a little bit more affordable, so that you can live that lifestyle that you want, that you can have those dreams further down the road. And when I talk about further down the road, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, not 20 or 50 years, but just for a short period of time, really looking at that. The next thing I think that is really important for you to look at is your spending. What are you spending money on? If you're really thinking about quitting your job and really investing a lot in a new business, it's important to really consider those expenses that you have. And I think as Americans, we have a tendency to really overspend. So if you really analyze what you're spending your money on, how often you're going out to eat, what kinds of food you are making, where you're spending that dollar, whether you're a shopaholic and you have to have the latest brands and trends and everything brand new, if you have to have a new car every 3 or 4 years, really examine that and think about, do I have to have that right now? Or am I willing to make a sacrifice? Am I willing to kind of scale down for the time being so that I can position myself for real success? And the other thing that I just really want to bring up is debt. Are you living in a place where you're surrounded by debt? Because if you have a ton of debt, you're never going to be successful. You're never going to be able to have that momentum to really project yourself forward and really hit those goals. And so today I just want you to think about your lifestyle. Think about, do you have the opportunity right now while you currently are employed to downsize and then really devote all of your attention and all of your resources to creating a very profitable business so that you can live a lifestyle like no one else is living. Sometimes we have to make expense cuts right now, and sometimes we have to contract in order to expand. So I just want to leave you with that thought today. I wish you all great success, and I just encourage all of you to go out there and take massive action today to accomplish your dreams. Thanks so much.